Soul Patrol, Jesus 911, two-man car, Jess Romero, and my buddy Ed Steele, a fellow Catholic Christian warrior here from the Diocese of Phoenix, Arizona. Ed, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, Jesse. How are you?
I'm too blessed to be stressed, too anointed to be disappointed, and if hope was money, I'd be a millionaire. Ed, let's talk about what's happening here in the great state of Arizona. My brother Ed here is a Catholic. Not only is he a faithful Catholic, but he's also active. He rolls up his sleeves and he gets busy. So tell us, Ed, here in Arizona, I guess the Democratic Party in Arizona, they're proposing something to the Constitution. They're proposing to enshrine abortion in the Arizona state constitution. Is that correct?
That is correct, Jesse. You know, we breathed a sigh of relief when the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, but little did we know we were just kicking the hornet's nest. And these abortion zealots, I'll call them, are just determined to put abortion in every state. So we all know what just happened in Ohio. Normally conservative state voted to enshrine abortion in their state constitution. And right now here in Arizona, we have the same issue going on. There's a group called Abortion for Arizona for Abortion Access. They've filed a petition with the Secretary of State to enshrine what is essentially unrestricted abortion up to the moment of birth in our state constitution. Now, what that means is we're going to be legislatively prohibited from making any changes to this. Wow. Instead of this abortion industry going through the legislative process and having our legislators, our elected officials, decide what's right for Arizona, they're going straight to a constitutional amendment. It's a horrible thing.
And of course, Katie Hobbs the governor is on their side, so to speak. She's a woke leftist, so I mean, she's probably 100% for this. So this is basically nullifying the will of the people. What you take it out of the hands of the legislator, and you just allow those that are in charge. And right now, the woke left is in charge here in Arizona. They're going to decide what's better for Arizona instead of leaving it to the will of the people, right?
That's right. So they're going to say, well, it leaves it to the will of the people. But when you do a constitutional amendment, all bets are off for the legislative to change anything going forward. So as our population changes, or as we want to change what our views are on abortion, we'll not be able to do that. So I wanted to kind of describe the process that they're going through right now.
Please.
So right now they're in the process of collecting signatures. They have to collect a total of 383,923 valid voter signatures in order to get this amendment proposal on the ballot for next November. Now that sounds like a monumental task to get 383,000 plus signatures. And to make sure they have valid signatures, they're probably going to shoot for somewhere in the neighborhood of 600,000 signatures. And these have to be live signatures on a piece of paper. And again, that sounds like a monumental task, but I will tell you they are well organized and well funded. As of right now, they have 676 paid signature collectors across the state.
Wow. Where's that money coming in from? From what leftist organization have you guys tracked?
There are three groups. I don't recall the names of them off the top. One of them is Raising Arizona Healthcare. I was paid collectors. We don't know how many volunteers there are, but they have, rest assured, they have an army out doing this. So I was standing next to a volunteer collecting signatures who worked for one of these groups. And she confessed that they have already put in a total of $5 million for this effort. $5 million.
So what do we have to do here in Arizona as conservatives, patriots, and people of faith so that this does not get enshrined into the Constitution? I mean, obviously, if it makes it if it makes it into the Constitution, how is that process, and how can we stop it? What are some of the things that we can do? And I'm sure this is an ecumenical effort. I mean, this affects Protestants and people of goodwill as well, not just Catholics.
Right,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, let me talk for a minute about the language.
Okay.
Because this is really important. They make two distinctions in this bill on abortion. The first one is and I'm going to read it directly. This is their filing with the Secretary of State. It's a 3-page filing. It's very simple. Number one, every individual has a fundamental right to abortion, Jesse. So they're so woke in this filing, they won't even say the word woman. It's individual.
Unbelievable.
So you as an individual, Jesse, have a right to an abortion if they get their way. So it says, right. So two things. The state shall not enact, adopt, or enforce any law, regulation, policy, or practice that restricts or interferes with that right to abortion before fetal viability, and unless justified by a compelling state interest that is achieved by the least restrictive means. And then the second one, which is absolutely the most troubling one, the state, again, shall not enact, adopt, enforce any law, regulation, policy, or practice. And again, that's our legislative process. They're denying our legislative process on this issue going forward. That interferes with an abortion after fetal viability. That's code for up to birth, all 9 months of the pregnancy, unless in the good faith judgment of a treating healthcare professional, which they don't describe or define what a treating healthcare professional is, it is necessary to protect the life or physical or mental health of the pregnant individual. So, you know, if a woman says, "Oh, I'm just too stressed out and I don't think I can handle this mentally," I mean, we've seen how the mental health industry has been perverted lately, especially, you know, if you look at what's going on with the transgender stuff, they're having children have sex change surgery after 1 or 2 visits with a psychiatrist. It's an abomination of. It's been politicized,
and mental health has been politicized. It's been weaponized against people of faith, no doubt. Well, Ed, let me ask you, what are some of the things that we can do? Some of the action items that we can do? Is there a website or is there an email? People want to get involved. They want to roll up their sleeves and they want to say, "I got some time. I can do something." What are some of the things that we can do as conservatives, patriots, and people of faith to stop this from becoming part of the Arizona State Constitution?
Yeah. The first thing we're asking everybody to do, and this is so simple, Jesse, our little group has adopted the Memorare as our guiding prayer. So we're asking all faithful
Daily
Catholics
Daily Memorare.
That when you pray the Memorare, ask our Blessed Mother's intention or intercession for this effort that we're undergoing right now.
Absolutely.
The second thing, when you're out and about your daily, you know, where you're going to the grocery store or somewhere, public library, because again, that's where they're going to be at. They're going to be in the public spaces, out collecting signatures. If you see them in a public space, you can just stand next to them and make sure that everyone coming up who potentially will sign understands that it is abortion up to birth through all 9 months. That's all you have to say. We're not trying to argue with people. We're not trying to be confrontational with people. We just want to make sure that whoever comes up to sign fully understands what it is they're signing. Because these signature collectors, they're dishonest. I mean, I ran into one the other day and I got called out by a friend and he says, "Hey, they're outside my office collecting signatures." So I got in the car, I drove over there. I put we have a sign. I'll show you in a second. I walked up. He said, "Hey, how would you like to sign a petition to protect women's health care?" And I said, "You mean abortion, like abortion up to birth?" "Oh, no, that's not what this is." And I pulled the sign out, and he rolls his eyes. "Oh, great, you're one of those guys. I guess you're going to harass me." I said, "Sir," I said, "I'm going to stand next to you and make sure people understand the truth. That's all I'm going to do." And so he got on the phone and called his handler. There's a company out there called Fieldworks that is the signature collection company. He called his handler and said, and they gave us a label. "We're the God Squad," which I'll gladly accept that label, right?
Absolutely. So, yeah, the left is they have an army out here. They're well funded. They're collecting signatures, and if they get to that certain mark, it's going to be on the state ballot to vote, right, Ed? They're trying to get it on the state ballot for a vote, correct?
That's correct, Jesse. And
we're trying to stop them from even getting to the state ballot, correct? We want to stop them from even getting there, right?
Yeah. That's our mission right now. And we have to be in front of those signature collectors. We have to be letting the people know exactly what they're signing, because abortion up to birth is not a popular message. I mean, 70% of people say they want, and it's only 70, it's sad, but 70% of the people say that they think there should be some limitations to abortion. And that's why our message is simple. You either support abortion up to the moment of birth or you don't. That's the inflection point that the other side has already drawn. We don't have to debate where along the pregnancy is it permissible to abort a baby. They've taken the stance that it's up to birth, and we need to push that message. We need to make them own that message because it's unpopular, and so that's what we're after.
I like what you said. You said, look, at every one of us is going out to the store, to the market, to the library. Spend a little while, maybe an hour or two when you go somewhere, and if you see one of these characters, stand next to them. And just as they're gathering signatures, all you got to say something as simple and as innocuous as that. If you sign that, you're supporting abortion up to birth. They're going to look
right.
If you sign that, sir, ma'am, you're supporting abortion up to birth. Well, I don't believe in that. Well, that's what you're going to sign.
Here's our sign that we're putting up. See if you can see it.
Yeah. Signing supports abortion up to birth. Please decline to sign. You know, we need 1,000 of those signs so we can put them all over over the Phoenix Valley.
We put the actual language of the initiative on the back so that people can see it for themselves. And by the way, the signature collectors are required by law to have a copy of that available for anybody who wants to read it. So, if you run into somebody who's outside like a Fry's or Albertsons or whatever, you don't have to engage them first. I would go in, talk to the store manager and say, "Look, I shop here all the time. I don't want to see that when I come to your store." And most of the time they will actually run them off. They don't want them on their property either. We've had a lot of success doing that. Just either call the store or go see the store manager. You can get them tossed off their property. Now, if they're on the public space like the library or a city event downtown or a park, there's not much you can do there. The other thing we're asking is everybody should notify their church leaders to speak about this issue directly from the pulpit.
Yes.
I know, Jesse, for a fact, they've been collecting signatures since way back when, since September. I know for a fact every day there are unsuspecting Catholics walking up and being seduced and lied to and convinced why they need to sign this thing. And people need to hear this from the pulpit. The other way is you can connect with our group through social media. We're at Decline Abortion on Twitter.
At Decline Abortion.
At Decline Abortion. Yep. Instagram, Decline Abortion. You can get to us there. If you want to connect directly with the group, we have an email account. You can email us. It's azdecline2sign@gmail.com.
I'm writing all this down so I can repeat it throughout the week. And maybe you could just send it to me in an email or a text so I can repeat this throughout the week.
You got it. Yeah. Well, like I said, they have an army out there, Jesse. We need an army to push back. Again, we're not confrontational, not argumentative. We just want to make sure people understand exactly what they're signing.
Ed, I would be happy if just every Catholic would make sure that maybe they get one of those signs. Where can they order those signs that you have? And take it to their parish and have the pastor on a Sunday for several Sundays, have that billboard right there in front of the ambo. The pastor could hold it up, and as part of his homily, several times, for till the end of the month, they can hold that sign up and just give a 2-minute commercial. If everybody can get that to happen, we would inoculate thousands and thousands of Catholic in Phoenix diocese. Where can people order that sign?
Yeah, Jesse, if they just email us through that email account, we'll make sure they get a sign. Again, we're asking people to join our group. We actually do a Zoom link meeting every Sunday night for training so that we make sure that everybody's on the same page. We don't want cowboys out there, wreaking havoc and doing things in our name. We're compassionate, charitable Catholics out there trying to lovingly inform the public.
Okay, give us the social media accounts, how they get a hold of the group, and then the email account. Give it to me again slowly.
At Decline Abortion is the Twitter handle.
At Decline Abortion. At Decline Abortion.
Right. And they can email us at azdeclinetosign@gmail.com.
Say it again.
azdeclinetosign@gmail.com.
One more time.
Yep. azdeclinetosign@gmail.com.
And you guys have training on Sunday nights, correct?
We do. We do video Zoom call training every Sunday night, 8 p.m. We want to get everybody on the same page. This is such an important effort. We want to make sure that we're all sending out a consistent message when we're out there in public.
And it seems to me like if this is your group are very serious and committed Catholic Christians, are you guys bringing in Protestants, or do the Protestants have something else going on their own?
There's some other groups that have other things going on, but they are also utilizing this decline to sign strategy.
Okay.
Because again, we've seen this strategy work in other areas, and again, when you find something that works, let's continue with it. They tried a lot of strategies in Ohio and they failed. And we don't want to repeat those mistakes. We want to learn from it. And again, our big message is you either support abortion up to the moment of birth or you don't. This is a binary choice, Jesse.
Yeah,
our abortion debate we've had for 50 years is completely different than the one we have right now. That old abortion debate, we talked about, we're always looking for the inflection point. Where along the pregnancy is it permissible?
Right.
Well, this group has taken that debate out of the conversation. They want it up to birth. And we have to, again, make sure that the public understands this is either you support abortion up to birth or you don't.
They've actually made it easier for our side.
They've made it easier for our side. And if you have a minute, we're also waiting for the Arizona Supreme Court to rule on which abortion law is in effect in Arizona based on Roe v. Wade being overturned. There's currently, Arizona has an abortion limit up to 15 weeks. There's a court case that was heard before the Supreme Court to bring it back to the pre-statehood law, which says no abortion at all.
Wow.
And the irony of that is if it goes back to the old law, the abortion activists are going to be just losing their minds over that and saying, see, they want to take all your rights away. So
would that affect-
that's going to be a challenge for us, and we need to have that on our radar.
Okay. Thanks a lot for notifying the audience about that. Ed, you got about 2 more minutes left. Go ahead and make a strong appeal for people to become involved. You got about 2 minutes. Go ahead. You're on.
Okay. I just want to make sure everybody understands how critical this is. And like I was just saying a moment ago, this is not the same old abortion debate that we've had for 50 years. We can't be drugged back into that old abortion debate either. If we get drugged back into, oh, well, when is it permissible and what month during the pregnancy is it okay to take the life of the baby? If we get drugged back into that debate, we lose. Mm-hmm. We must maintain a consistent message of this is abortion up to birth. We need to pin it on these guys. We need to shellac them with it. We need to make sure that they own that message over and over and over. Because again, that's an unpopular message. We need to make sure that everybody in the public understands what we're looking at. It's abortion up to birth. It's a amendment to the Constitution, which will never be legislatively corrected. In addition to that, if this passes, all of the protections that were in place legislatively will go away, including, and this is the horrible part, including the need for parental consent for minors to obtain abortions. So that's just going to drag the sex traffickers to Arizona. Minors are going to be getting abortions without parental consent. This is a horrible, horrible amendment to our Constitution. And we as Catholics, Christians, and anybody who's pro-life to any degree needs to get out in front of this and say no.
Thanks a lot, Ed. I've been talking to Ed Steele, a brother in Christ here in the Diocese of Phoenix, a serious Catholic, lover of Christ, lover of the church, and he's an activist. This guy rolls up his sleeves and he gets busy, and he puts feet to his faith. Ed, thanks a lot. I know you're going to a meeting, kind of some type of a strategy. Yeah. So,
I appreciate the time here.
One more time, give us a Twitter account. Give us a Twitter account. One more time.
Yep. At Decline Abortion is the Twitter account, and email azDeclineToSign@gmail.com.
One more time.
Very much.
One more time. Both of them. One more time.
Yep. At Decline Abortion is our Twitter handle, and azDeclineToSign@gmail.com.
Well, Ed's given us a bunch of action items for us as lay Catholics, and we don't want to. If the left enshrine this in the Ohio State Constitution, they're targeting Arizona next. We are on their radar, right, Ed?
That's right, yeah. And sadly, if it gets on the ballot, there's a high probability that it will pass. So our first strategy, our strategy immediately right now is do everything we can to prevent that from getting on the ballot.
Thank you, brother. God bless you, Ed. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, Jesse.
Keep up the good work, my friend.